Out. Hello
Okay.
everyone, welcome. After a few attempts again, we are live and myself and Atul. Atul, would you like to say hi? Atul? Oh, did I? Now I'm disconnected or did Atul get disconnected? I'm kind of. Oh wow. Okay, I think Atul got disconnected just now. uh, is my voice clear? I just got to check. Yeah, I think my voice is pretty clear. No worries there. Cool. Okay, Atul, I guess will be back, and in the meantime, we can talk about who we will be having today and what we are doing today. So this got changed a bit. All right, there you go. So welcome everybody. Today we shall be having a look at Vaishali R's games. Yesterday we had a look at Prag's games, and today it's Vaishali R. Basically, they're siblings. To those who do not know, they are siblings. Guys in the chat, just let me know if everything is sounding and looking fine to you guys. Please let me know, because if I'm still here. Hi Apuja. Yes, okay. Thank you so much for joining. Hi Prince Aryan. Atul is frozen. Yeah, I think he got disconnected. So he'll be back. He probably had an internet issue because of which so and so happened. But anyway, talking about Vaishali, she's not a lot into the limelight. Uh, she has won the World Youth Championships in the under 12 and the under 14 category in 2015. So basically, she was an under 12 girl at that point of time, but she also won a higher category. That's the under 14 category too. That was way back in 2014 though, in 2015 though. But she was also part of the gold medal winning team, the Online Olympiad. She was part of the Indian team during that Olympiad. So yeah, she does have an online Olympic gold medal too. And I think the most important part about her is she has two Grandmaster norms. So, and she's actually inching towards the Grandmaster title. She has two norms, I think, and she's 2400 plus. So if she reaches 2500 and gets another norm, then she'll be very soon to be a grandmaster. So till now, I think we've had only Vijay Lakshmi earlier, who actually Vijay Lakshmi is a GM elect. I think it's been a lot of years now, 10 years or more, that she has not become a GM, which is pretty sad because she's a really strong player, but she has had all her GM norms from a very long time. It was just her rating that is left, but I think hopefully she can actually get there. And after Vijay Lakshmi, I think it's Vaishali right now. Vaishali has two Grandmaster norms, and recently she got her second Grandmaster norm. She won the 8th Fisher Memorial, and she got her Grandmaster norm there. And yeah, she got a Grandmaster norm there. So basically, I have chosen two games from that very tournament, which we can actually go through because she's got her Grandmaster norm very recently. It's about, I think, a couple of months back. So she just requires another norm and then her rating, and then she'll be a Grandmaster. And if she manages to do it, she will be the third. She will be the third female player. She will be the third female player to ever become a Grandmaster from India. So yeah, hopefully she can actually get there. Vijay Lakshmi can also get there. Okay, so yeah, so we have just two women players who are grandmasters. First was Hampi Koneru and second was Harika Dronavelli. So we have just two from India, and even all over the world the number is very less. So yeah, hopefully Vaishali can get there very soon. Probably even get one at the Olympiad. If she can get a Grandmaster norm, that would be lovely. But anyway, going forward, let me just check if everything is fine on the channel. Everything seems fine. Everything seems fine. All right. So guys, if you are in the chat, just put in a message in the chat, because I don't know if my internet is gone or not gone. I'm kind of confused. Okay, Prince is there, which means my internet is there. Okay, because I thought I was talking all this time, and I was like, if my internet is not there, I was talking all this time. That would be that would be a complete waste. Okay, Aryan is there. So disco dancer. It seems like Mithun who is dancing there. All right. Okay. So I think we can actually begin with the games. I've chosen two games from a recent tournament. I have also not seen them actually, to be honest. It's like just scroll through them, but honestly, I've not seen the games either. So let's actually go through the games, and give me a second. Now that Atul is not there, I can actually begin with let me just go to studio mode and just check out my Nandychess. Okay, I think everything is fine actually. Just make the board slightly smaller, and we are good to go. Perfecto. Okay, we can do this. So we can actually begin with, yeah, we can begin with one of her games from this recent tournament. Atul left and went outside to eat bagels. Now he joined.
Am I back? Am I back?
Well, Atul seems to be back, guys. Prince was saying you went out to eat bagels. You're back. Okay, I was just going to begin with the games. Are you coming on camera or?
Yes, I am on camera, no? Or it's not on. Okay, wait.
No,
I will
not on,
switch it
not
on.
on.
Yeah, I am on.
Okay, so let me just change the scene then.
That boy who came, he
Perfect.
messed up everything.
Uh-huh.
It's like ever since he left, it is like restarting all the time. And they installed something today, and because of that installation, it is configuring after every some time. They are doing it manually.
Okay.
I contacted owner now. He said like it is going to happen for some time.
Okay, fine. No worries.
So I might disconnect again.
No problem.
Okay.
It's good you're at least informed in advance, so the chat knows that you're not going to eat bagels. You actually have an issue there.
Yeah, I mean like if they don't do it again, because they have disconnected second time now in last 10 minutes. Before live streaming, actually I was trying to connect, but it was not connecting.
Oh, okay.
But I thought like,
Okay.
okay, it is fixed, and then I started the Zoom and again it got disconnected.
No worries. Yeah, I think we can begin with the game then, right?
Yes, sure. Like, have you introduced Vaishali and all? Everything is done?
Yeah, I mean, I was waiting for you. In the meantime, I did it. But you
Okay,
can
fine.
add up anything if you wish to.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Okay.
Like I have played against Vaishali like 2-3 times.
I've only played Prag. I've not played Vaishali. Okay.
Okay, fine.
Chalo,
So
let's begin. So Vaishali goes e4, e5. One second actually. Let me actually check something. Just because I don't know much about these opponents, but I think it'll be good to actually check it out. Okay. So this opponent's actually a FIDE master. The rating actually is the rating, I think probably he may have just reduced at this point of time, or it is 40k. I have no idea. But right now her opponent's rating is 2452.
Oh.
Right now currently, and he's an FM. It's kind of weird.
Nice.
Okay. So knight f3, knight c6, bishop b5, knight f6, d3, bishop c5, yeah, the ruler pairs. And here she goes for bishop c6, dc6, and castling. So, so after castling, knight into e5 is an immediate threat, right? Here, white cannot capture knight e5. Let us see if the chat can figure out why. Knight
Yeah.
e5 would
Yeah,
uh,
recently only I
not be
had this
right.
position. Recently only I had this position with
Is
one of
it?
my student. Like we were discussing about this thing, and I said like, okay,
You
this
cannot
cannot
capture.
be. Yeah,
Let's see why. What is black's really good move in this position, which stops white from capturing?
yeah. Another thing is also there that sometimes the pawn is on d2, no? Then instead of d3, they play knight c3, and the same similar position happens. And in
Yes,
that position,
correct.
knight e5 is actually possible in a way. Only thing is that you need to. Okay, we will talk about it once they tell us the move.
Yeah. Why dc6? Why not bc6? Okay, we'll get there. We'll first answer this question. Yeah, prince got it. Queen d4. So
Yeah,
queen d4 has been played and a double attack. There's no
correct.
way to defend your knight. You get checkmated or you give up your knight. The choice is yours and you lose the piece. Alright, so why not bc6? Okay, see, a point is about when you play dc6 over here, you're also actually threatening bishop g4. You want to develop your bishop.
Hmm.
And there's a difference in every opening. Usually dc6 is considered because you get the open file and the bishop development. In certain positions, yes, bc6 also works, right? But
Yeah,
I think in these kind of positions, now knight e5 is just losing a pawn.
correct.
Yeah, there is no queen d4. So you have to see the position and accordingly play. Also, the point is here, bishop a6, you don't really get much. You get the open file, but I don't think you can do much about it. There's just b3 in case
Mm.
white wants. And you break open the center, but yeah, it depends on how you like the position. But in this particular position, you're losing the pawn.
Yeah,
So
and you are not getting anything in return. That
in return, yeah, nothing at all. So you got to be really careful which one to choose. But actually, to be honest, I think as a beginner, when I started playing, I only considered dc6. And when you are in the starting phase, you always have to consider dc6 as your first option. And as you improve later, then moves like bc6 come into consideration because
yeah.
you kind of weaken your pawn structure even further. dc6 is a safer option with a tempo
And
and you want to
open.
develop.
Yeah,
Yeah.
correct.
Okay. Anyway, let's go further. So dc6 and castling. Now this is a serious threat. Now knight e5 is a serious threat to win the pawn. So
Mm.
opponent goes queen e7.
Support.
Yes, supporting the pawn. And I think, black usually has this option in these exchange. It's not the exchange variation, but similar Berlin exchange or whatever you call it.
Mm.
Uh, Black has the option of going queenside castling, right? Because you're developing the queen. So
Yes.
that is an option which a black can consider, kingside or queenside, depending on whatever happens. Okay, so here Vaishali goes knight b d2, bishop
Mhm.
g4 as we discussed, and a3 was played in this position.
Maybe she is preparing for kingside attack. If black long castles, then she can go
Hmm.
for that thing b4, as
Yeah.
in like showing it there.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm.
And then this bishop b2, I think if bishop b2 is on the board, then this e5 pawn is also kind of under threat, right?
Yeah,
So
so it
that's
is kind
also a
of
point.
discouraging move
Long
for
castles.
long castle is being discouraged. That's the-
So black played a prophylactic move, I guess, knight d7, supporting the pawn.
Mhm.
Probably has ideas of, actually f6 is a common thing in the ruler pairs. You go f6, knight d7 to support this pawn in the
Yeah.
exchange variation.
And then I'll just come back in 1 minute, okay?
Yeah, sure. So here the game continued h3, just challenging the bishop, and bishop h5 and b4, bishop d6, again just supporting the pawn, and the move knight c4 was played here. So basically knight c4 has been played because you're opening up for the bishop, you're getting the knight to a better square, attacking the bishop and the pawn, and f6. So now this is very normal because anytime black wants, black can also get the bishop back, but that's not the main idea. It's mainly to protect the pawn, and yes, the bishop can get back if black is planning to attack and castle kingside, then definitely yes. So here knight e3 was played. So this is something I really liked in this particular game. That's why I selected it. So basically already the knight has moved 1, 2, 3 squares. The knight has come to e3 now. On b1 basically, when the knight was on b1, this was a potential outpost which Vaishali saw. And now probably knight f5 will be very very soon played. So knight f8, black also realizes. That's another point to why black went knight d7. So this is a very positional game. This thing is very positional, the opening. So you have to just see how to maneuver your pieces. Knight f8, I guess black's idea is also very similar to come to f4. So here Vaishali goes with c4. Again, just taking advantage of the fact that the knight is no longer on c4. So another idea with knight e3 is not just improving the positioning of the knight, but going to the center with c4. And now white has an immediate threat. What is the immediate threat? Let us see if the chat, if you guys can tell us. What is Vaishali's immediate threat after playing the move c4?
Okay, ma'am. I got it, ma'am.
No, today they're very dull in the chat, so it's like I'm kind of asking these simple questions.
I can
so
also
that
see
you know
that.
we can get some
Darshan,
answers from them.
Darshan was asking, can we meet the players? Did you answer?
No. I did not see it. No, I did not answer that one. You can
Well, it
answer.
depends when if the players are in mood to meet.
Yeah, it depends. I mean, it's not that you just get even any sport, right? Even cricket and all. You're not given a timing. Oh, you can go and meet Virat Kohli at so and so time. It's never given. So whenever, if you get a chance, you get a chance. If you don't, you don't. It's not a job. It's not their job to meet us. Like they're not paid for it. So c5. Okay, Prince has put in the answer in the chat.
Correct.
Yes.
Correct.
c5 is the threat and the bishop is then trapped on d6.
Good.
So actually till here, Atul, did you see the game till here? I'll just go forward in case you missed it.
Yeah. I got
a3,
it.
there. So basically the knight I was saying has come to e3. Very nicely played. The knight was actually aiming to come to f5 from the very beginning. And then c4, and then again queen d7 is forced because you got to make a square for the bishop. Now if a move like c5 is played, I think this will be bad because we have b5, I believe. Then knight d5 is also a weakness, right? I think we have b5. What do you think, Atul? Or you could even capture actually.
Yeah,
and knight
capture
d5
is also there. Knight
or
d5
knight d5
is,
directly also.
Knight d5 directly I will prefer. I will
Yeah,
wait
knight
for,
d5
like,
directly.
can be moved, and then maybe, like, see, in this position it's not compulsory for us to capture on c5, because if you capture on c5 the bishop will be opened up. So I will prefer to play rook b1 or b5.
Yeah, that's what. I was also thinking b5 for a
b5 is
particular
most
reason.
yeah.
I was thinking b5 for the reason that if pawn into, we can obviously move the knight in double pawns, and if queen into a knight is forever there. So then we have this a4 a5 thing, and I think this should be better for white, right? Anyway.
Oh, Prince is saying he had the same position in his college tournament.
Oh wow. All right. So queen d7 was played over here, just making a square for the bishop. And now, as we have seen, this beautiful knight has come to e3. This knight goes now to f5, jumps to f5. And black does the same thing, knight f4, knight d4, knight f4 ideas. And here Vaishali goes bishop e3, I think just taking control of, developing and taking control of the squares. And bishop f8, I think opening up to target the d3 pawn, which is also looks good. Now let us see if the chat can guess what Vaishali played in this position. So this is a very positional and nice, piece maneuver game. So I like this game because of this.
I'm just putting it on Twitter and Instagram.
Yeah, I think AIC have shared it actually. They must have tagged both of us, no?
Oh, really? I did not check anything today.
On Instagram, they shared it.
Oh, okay, nice. It's good that they shared it. So
Instagram story, yeah.
okay, cool.
What did Vaishali play in this position, guys? What did she do? Let's see if you guys can guess correctly. Nobody is getting the move to what she played. Wow, we don't even have a single answer in the chat. Guys, please do also c5 to play knight d6. Your idea is not bad, but there's a pawn on c7 which you're missing. You know, go knight d6. Akash got it right. Yes, knight g3. Now, this is the beautiful thing about this game. The reason I loved this game is the way Vaishali played with her knights, okay? She got knight g3. Now, because the whole time she could not get out of the pin, so that was a problem. Also to be mentioned, why bishop d3 was also played was because after knight e6 you don't want to give up this f5 knight in capture. So knight d4 threatening this knight is also a point. So bishop here, I think you can just capture with the bishop, and then you can win the pawn and then go back. So that's, can you? Probably this bishop h2, but I think that's all right. Okay, the point over here is the way she played with the knights. Here she played this move knight g3. Now just imagine she thought about this whole piece maneuver. She actually planned it out from the very beginning when she played knight b2, knight c4, knight e3, knight f5, knight g3, and finally she's getting rid of the pin. And this is what I loved about this game, this knight maneuver, because she didn't have a light squared bishop to put on e2, right, to actually get rid of the pin. She does not get queen d3 or queen b3 like our regular ways to get out of the pin. And so she had to play 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and played very nicely at the perfect time, got knight g3, and finally there is no pin on the board. And now finally she gets rid of the pin and she moves a queen. Now perfect timing because there is rook d8 coming. She goes queen c2 and the queen is out.
Yeah,
Hi
I
Shlom,
shared.
welcome.
I
No,
shared
Atul
finally.
is frozen. No, earlier he was frozen because of technology. Now he was frozen by himself. He froze himself, so don't worry. Yeah, the knight dance is beautiful. You know, this knight just came all the way from here just to get rid of the pin. So that was beautiful, beautiful the way she used her knight. And along with that, it's not just the knight. She even improved her position. Like she didn't just hurry, you know, continuously doing it. She developed her pieces too, you know, at the perfect timings. So here, the minute the knight is on g3, opponent went with h5, makes total sense. And she says, okay, you want to go h4? No worries, I just continue with my idea. I think probably d4 is a potential idea because the
And whenever you
black
play
king is in the center.
h4, I think knight f5 can be played.
Yes, knight f5 can be played, definitely. Also, I think with rook d1, this d4 is a serious threat coming up. The
Yeah.
king's in the center, opening up the center is very important here. So the opponent played knight d4, immediately blocking this file. Again,
Yeah.
total sense. I mean, what would you do? As white gets d4, white is having a very good advantage.
I think you need to capture the knight now because knight is very strong here in this position, and knight captures f3 is a very serious threat.
Yes, exactly. And as we have discussed earlier, you want to keep the knights in this position. So go bishop into d4. The bishop is not doing much of a job. And after e into d4, the
Knight
knight
f5
goes
again.
back to its lovely square f5. Sits there happily.
Yeah.
And yeah, but there are moves like g6 in this position. What would happen for g6? This d4
I
pawn
can
I
just
think is
capture the
falling.
pawn, I guess. So no worries
Yeah.
without like in that
This
position.
is just falling.
And okay, that is out of this thing. But when sometimes you talk, I feel like I listen to one meditation app. In that they talk the way you talk.
Is So basically, this is like a stream we are doing of chess meditation.
Yes.
A chess
They,
meditation
they say
stream.
like sit back and relax. So you are saying like that night goes back to the beautiful place where it belongs. Okay, fine. Let's
We
continue.
actually we can read our viewers' minds, Atul. We just spoke about G6, and we got a question about G6. Like, we know what they're going to ask us and we answer their questions in advance.
That's what it happens when you meditate.
Yeah. So anyway, I think the pawn on d4 is anyway falling, right? There's no way for black to defend.
C5
Actually,
is
there
only
is
was
c5.
option. C5 is there.
But
But in that case,
c5
G7
was
will
not
fall.
played.
G7 will fall.
Exactly. G7 with a check. That's the point.
Hmm.
So, h4, opponent decided to play h4, I think, and just
Maybe
probably
opponent wants to play bishop h5 and attack
maybe
the knight on.
attack something of that sort. Yeah, that's right.
And he might long
Possibly.
castle also. Means one pawn
Yeah.
down, but he will try something. As you mentioned, like g5, g4 is also
Yeah,
in the air.
exactly. But I think white is better, even though, see, this is like one of the rare positions where I as a player will prefer two knights than two bishops. Otherwise, I'm always a two bishops girl.
Yeah, like it
Okay.
depends upon what is the pawn structure. I just want to mention that thing,
Yeah.
which is very important. Whenever we are playing any game, when bishops are there on the board, pawn structures matters a lot because bishops are open only when the pawn structure is open. If pawn structure is too closed or if the pawns are on the same color of the bishop, then usually the bishop is cramped. So we don't really like to play those positions. And when the knight is there, okay, like open positions are dangerous for the knights because they cannot go from here and there. But bishops enjoy that kind of positions a lot. And when the position is closed, as it is here in this case, almost all the 8 pawns are there on the board. Knights are the one who are going to enjoy.
Exactly. Okay, so h4 was played, and Vaishali does not pick up the pawn though.
Mm-hmm.
She does not. She plays a very smart move of going and picking up the pawn. She plays queen b2. She says, okay,
She wants
I'll
to
pick up
capture the pawn d4.
I'll pick it up with the queen. Let's trade pieces. Let's get into an end game where I'm up a pawn. And the queen was doing absolutely nothing, right? So
Yeah.
queen b2, and opponent went with bishop h5. I think that was another point, right? Atul, you mentioned bishop h5. Let us
Yes.
say this knight captures. I think bishop h5 was a threat. Not really,
Yeah,
right?
it's a strong threat. No, if you move the knight, then bishop will capture, and now c5
Now
is the threat.
c5 is a threat. Right.
c5
That's
and
possible.
everything will be tied down now.
Yes,
Okay,
and
you
this
can
knight.
play rook e1 in that position if you want to try, but after rook e1, c5 is a very strong idea.
Yeah.
Because if you capture again, bishop will capture, and if you move the knight, then bishop f3, gf3, and queen h3 is.
Yes,
Queen h3 will not
exactly.
play. Knight f5 is still coming. But I will say like pawn structure will be
Okay,
ruined. No?
I think G6 is there though. Still in,
Yeah,
you're still in trouble, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and the other knight cannot capture. So Queen b2 is kind of a forced move. It seems like if you want to capture, other
Yeah,
knight
yeah.
cannot capture because of G6.
Mhm. You can get this kind of moves only when you calculate. But if you don't calculate, if you just go with the flow, means like just play the move by hand, then anybody will capture on d4 without thinking
Yeah.
too much.
Yeah, exactly. The c5 is giving black counterplay. Okay, so she went with queen to b2, and opponent continued with bishop h5. And she said, all right, this I don't care about. Now I go queen d4, no worries. Because now, even I think if you capture, let us say you get rid of the queens, if you do, even now it's a good knight versus a bad bishop endgame, right?
Correct.
So,
And the pawn is not falling. That is very important.
right. And up a pawn already, good knight, bad bishop should be good enough to, convert it. So queen e6 was played. I think probably rook d8 could be an idea. What did she do here? Now she went for the second pawn. Now she just went for the second pawn, saying I get 2 pawns, I capture them, whatever I get.
Yeah, 2 pawns are good enough. I think g5 is one of the ideas in this position. g5, if you play, what to do in that? Oh, knight g5. No, knight g5, fg5, queen h8, gh4, queen. No.
I think bishop d1
Yes,
also.
d1. That's what I'm saying.
G5. I think simple chess is.
But I was concerned about the pawn on h3.
Let us say we capture knight g5. What's the calculation?
If you capture on h8, d1 is under attack.
But do I need to capture? I probably do need to capture, but then I lose this, right? But wait, it's a very interesting position. See the number of pawns on a bishop.
Yeah, you can capture h4 also.
I mean, I'm going with white here.
Four pawns are there.
All past pawns.
I don't know. It's like the pawns are not yet advanced, right? So
Yeah.
it's not that clear like how white is going to win. But okay, it's an interesting variation.
But
G5 and
yeah, I think that's it, because if you go here, you don't want to give up anything on this side.
no rook h3, and I will prefer this position. But still here,
With
king g2
white,
rook
yeah,
h1 is there.
king g2 rook h1. White is still better. Definitely, white is better.
I think if you want to play safer, then king g2 rook h1 is very safe.
Definitely.
Because in that case he cannot even castle, means on the long side, and the bishop, as you mentioned, it's dominated by the knight. And one thing
Actually,
which I would like to say,
anytime the rook comes out, I think we get queen a7 also.
yeah, pawn, and you can even keep the queen in the center of the board also. It means even if you don't want to capture the pawn. One thing I would like to say to the chat here, like whenever the distance between the knight and the bishop is 2 squares, the piece which is in the corner of the board or the edge of the board, it is being dominated. You can say
Right
show
now.
that, Nandini, like these all these squares for the bishops are being controlled by the knight because the bishop is in the like that edge of the board. Yeah.
Correct.
So worth remembering. If the knight was there on, we have seen this kind of positions. Means I have also played, and my knight was stuck on c1 square. Opponent's bishop was on c4. My knight was not able to come
Yeah,
out.
if you just replace the pieces, for example, knight here,
Yeah.
bishop here, if you just replace, then you see that the knight would be blocked, right? Because the bishop would control these squares.
Yeah.
So that's a good point to always keep in mind. Okay, this didn't happen. Knight g5 would be interesting, and we would have seen what would Vaishali choose, Knight g5 or knight f5 would be really nice. But okay, opponent went with rook h7. I think the idea is still g5. Now I think opponent did not play g5 because of knight g5 for sure then.
That 4 pawns, I think he did not dare.
Yeah.
And Vaishali would have gone for that thing, I guess.
Yeah, considering the player she is, I think she would have gone for it.
He will not be shy.
Yeah.
Just capture so many pawns and try to push the pawns. Because basically black's like c pawns are also doubled, no? So
Yeah,
it's not
exactly.
like black will be able to create any fast pawn or something.
Exactly. So yeah, here again, now she knows she's 2 pawns up. She says that's not enough. I'm just going to keep going further. The knights are doing all right, supporting each other. Now she goes with Atul's. Earlier he mentioned this idea rook e1, and to take advantage of the king over here, I think e5 could be a serious threat, right?
Yeah.
e5, f5, knight
Knight
g5.
g5.
Ah, okay. So the opponent played bishop
And with
e7.
rook e1 move, the thing is that the knight is also unpinned. That's very important.
Yeah, exactly. There's no pin on the board. And yeah, she goes with e5. Opponent goes with f5. And she goes with queen f4. I think simple
Still knight
idea.
g5.
Knight g5. I'll get rid of one of your bishops probably. And I'm 2 pawns up. And then slowly I'm just going to
Crush.
dominate. I mean, there's nothing here. So opponent played g6. And then came knight g5. And
Bishop
the
on h5 looks very bad to me now. Like it must be crying.
Exactly.
What am I doing in the corner of the board?
Actually, it's probably going to get trapped sometime. I think the point is after knight g5, actually here the opponent just, I think, blundered and just did this and gave up the rook and resigned.
He
But
resigned. He wanted to resign, I guess.
yeah, I think he probably wanted to resign. So I just did that and resigned. But if bishop g5, I think what you said is correct, Atul. f3, g4 seems unstoppable unless you trade queens, right?
Yeah.
And even if you trade queens, I think then I
Still,
can...
it is not so good. Means
Still f3, g4 is a threat, because whenever you play
G4
g5, I
is
win.
is not the threat right now. Maybe we need to prepare for because
In
the
the,
knight
yeah,
is
yeah,
not
you have to
doing
prepare.
anything.
Yeah, you have to prepare for it. But it is the same idea will happen in the end game, right?
Yeah.
I think end game would be even worse. d4 comes on the board, d5, f4. I'm just saying, even if you don't go for that idea, the bishop is just too badly placed, right?
Yeah.
So I'll just game over. So yeah, this was a very nice way. I like this game. Vaishali played with her knights mainly and the pawns pieces. She placed them, perfectly on correct squares. But if you just look at this knight, the journey it has had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, that is a
7.
journey. I don't know if there were most moves. Probably she went knight f5 twice, but I just took it as once and I've gone there. So yeah, a very nice journey the knight has had, and I think this knight is the piece, which is not really, if you just look at the position, you wouldn't say this knight won the game, but according to me, this knight won Vaishali the game because of its very long and beautiful journey all the
Man
way.
of the match. Man of the match.
Man of the match is the H4 knight.
There should be some awards. Piece of the match.
Oh wait, actually the name has changed now, Atul.
What?
It's player of the match now. It's not man of the match.
Really?
Yeah, because women's cricket also begun, right? So it's player
Oh
of the
my
match. So it's player of the match. And we
But
don't have
girls
this
still don't play in men's cricket, right?
men's cricket. Physical sports, you cannot really compete, right? Men and women. So they have
I'm saying
certain-
like means I'm saying like it can be man of the match also.
well, we don't know if this knight is a man or a woman, right?
No. I'm saying like not in this case, but I'm talking about cricket. Cricket.
Ah, no,
They
but
don't
they
mix
say
it, no? They
no,
don't
they
mix
don't.
it.
No, they just say player of the match now. So it's universal term used for anywhere. Because what happens, the commentators and everybody as humans, we say something for 20 years and then we just continue with the same word, right? Now the same commentators and the prize, whoever go as a host, they go for both the sections, right? And then they repeat the same thing, man of the match, man of the match. So they made it player of the match. I know this happened a couple of years ago. So now that's what they do.
Easy for commentators.
Yeah.
No miscommunication.
Also it
Even
kind of
the-
I think it also encourages anybody to play. For example, now in this world we have more than two genders currently in this era, right? So we don't know how somebody wants to be called, so anybody can play what regardless of your gender now.
Yeah.
Okay, so this was one beautiful game which I really liked. Did you like the game, Atul?
Yeah, it was like you can say like smooth game.
Yeah, a very smooth and nice game positionally, and I actually want
Just
try-
to let the viewers, I don't know whether you have talked about this thing earlier or not, because I was not there. These two games which Nandini has selected today are from her tournament where she made the Grandmaster norm recently, and she is very, you can say like not very close, but she is getting closer to become.
she's on
the-
her way. On her way.
On her way, yeah. She is going to be the third Grandmaster, third, I think.
She's let's say she is on her way to become the third.
Yeah, she is on her way to
the
become
third,
the third
let's
Grandmaster.
say the third female from India to become a grandmaster. Let's put
Yeah.
it that way.
Yeah, because earlier only two players have become like who are women, you can say girls. That is Koniro Hampi and Harika Drona only.
Exactly.
One another is there who just missed it because of the
It's
rating
GM
or
elect,
something.
but it's not
Yeah.
missed. It's a GM elect, right? Anytime
Yeah,
the rating
GM elect, but
crosses-
like she needs to complete the rating criteria. That is
Yeah. That's a bit more now. She has dropped her rating. That's what.
Vijaya Lakshmi Subramanian.
Yeah, the one and
she
only
is
Indian legend.
she is a legend in chess. She has won national championship, I think 9 times.
Don't ask me. She's won all the championships, I believe, and her titles. I think she's the first. She was the first WGM of India too, if I'm not wrong.
Yes, she is the first WGM, but I'm saying like she has won. That is also a record, like number of times she has won national championship. She has won maximum number of times, I guess.
Possible.
But that's what I heard because I have not checked it since long time.
Regardless, sometimes like a player probably does not win that much. For example, Vaishali, I don't think has too many records, right? But she's a really strong player. So Vijay Lakshmi, right? She has the records, but imagine she didn't have. Even then, she is an extremely strong player. Even if she didn't have the records.
No, it's but I'm just saying like as a record also she has
Yeah,
won
yeah, of
many
course, of
national
course.
championships, so which is a very great
Yeah. It's not easy, of course, definitely. But I'm saying for Vaishali, for example, Vaishali is extremely strong, but she doesn't have like those many championships under her hat.
Yeah. Okay, here Prince is saying, Atul, you have to make sure that 7th woman grandmaster will be Nandi.
He's giving so many years to me.
No, I think it is just 6 right now.
No,
grandmasters.
no,
Woman
woman.
grandmaster.
He's not
Ah.
saying woman grandmaster.
No.
He's saying
Yes,
woman
he's saying woman.
GM. He's
Yeah,
saying a
woman
woman
GM.
who is a GM. Others he would have put WGM. He said
No, he doesn't
GM.
know that thing. He's saying WGM.
No. Trust me. He's saying GM. He's
Okay.
saying
So he is
like
giving you some
he's giving me
spots.
some
Empty
years.
spots are there. Some empty
Yeah.
spots are there. He knows that Divya Deshmukh and
He's
all they
very
will
practical. He's very practical. Yeah, very good.
they will definitely be. Divya will
Yeah,
become.
exactly.
Vaishali will also become. And maybe like if the form continues, Bhakti can also be there.
Yeah, Bhakti definitely. I think she's definitely aiming for that.
Yeah. So like okay, other players are also there. Like Soumya is there. Like but okay, I will go with the youngsters first, and then
Yeah.
the seniors you can
That's
say.
always there because the senior players always have a lot more on their plate. So the time to be given is always less.
Mhm. Yeah, he is saying like WGM. He
I
knows.
told you, no, Atul. He's put it in capital there. That's why I know. Not exactly. But okay. So let's have a look at this game. So this game again, Vaishali is playing white, and she's playing an international master from France. His Materia is his name. I think Materia Marco is his full name.
Okay.
And let's begin. So this is again from the very same tournament she got her GM norm. And e4, c5,
Can you
knight
please tell us
f3.
the tournament name also, if it's
I think it
possible?
was 8th Fisher Memorial, right? If I'm not wrong.
Yeah, means I have not.
Yeah, 8th Fisher Memorial 2022.
Okay. Okay.
It's
Because
a tournament she won,
I
right?
forgot. I forgot.
She,
That's why I asked.
she won this tournament, right? If I'm not,
Yes.
I'm telling that she got a norm out of memory. Now, if I'm wrong about it, please don't. I just remember she won this tournament. It's like on my mind. She won this tournament. It just happened a couple
Okay.
of months back.
Okay.
I hope I'm right.
No, wait,
G4.
I forgot the name of the tournament where she has achieved that thing. So that's why I was asking.
Let me just check her score in the tournament, then I can be sure. 1.5, 2.5, 3, 4, 5, 6. She scored 7 out of the 9 or 10 rounds. 7 out of 10. So I think that will be a
Yeah, I
complete
think it is a WGM norm.
GM norm, you
GM
mean?
norm, yes.
Yeah. Okay, let's go. So CD4, knight d4, knight c6, knight c3, queen c7, bishop e2, a6, stopping any knight b5 ideas, and planning b5. And here she goes with knight into c6.
Mhm.
And b into c6, as Akash was asking earlier. In this position, yes, we go b into c6. You want to get to the center. Also, dc6, the bishop is still blocked, does not make sense. That's a b into c6. Now
And
you want to...
BC6 also opens up the file for the rook.
Yes, exactly. So anyway, so here she went with queen d3. This will be some prep. And knight f6 and queen g3. Definitely prep. So if basically you're going for a queen trade in this position, and if you do not queen trade, then this bishop is kind of stuck. You have to move your queen again, right? So
Yeah.
I think that's basically, and all the dark squares will be weak if you have to go g6, bishop g7. You don't want that. So queen into g3, h into g3. Now we have not seen any game till now on our streams where you get into the end game and we learn the end game, right? So I was like, okay, for a change, the previous game was a bit different positional, and this game I was like, okay, let's get into the end game and see how to win equal end games. So
Yeah.
d5, and here she goes with g4. She says, okay,
nice.
capture the pawn. I don't care. So I think if first of all, if d4, there's g5, and then you can capture once a knight moves. You gain some space advantage. h7 is weak, and yeah. And
If the
what
knight
happens for
captures,
knight
that is the
e4
question.
though? I think the pawn weaknesses are to be considered.
But will she go for the recovery of the pawn? That's the question.
I what do we? I think the h7 pawn will be recovered anyway, right? After g5 and getting this rook.
Yeah, but that will be very slow. But yes, we can play that. And another thing is also there, as you mentioned, g5. Rook h4 is a threat.
Yeah, that's what even I was thinking. But I was thinking there is c5, bishop b7. But yeah, I think you sacrifice the pawn and you probably get it back eventually, right? I think
Yeah.
that could be the point. You sacrifice the pawn and then you get it back eventually. I just checked actually. Position is equal. I just checked the evaluation just to see that we are correct or wrong. We are fine. Okay. So,
Come on,
a
guys,
move.
whoever is there in the chat, it's been a long time since anybody has said something. Please hit the like button and talk to us. Only Prince is the one who is talking with us. He's like our uh, permanent, you can say, viewer here who is
Exactly.
interacting and everything. So be a little bit more enthusiastic in the chat and keep liking the stream if you are new here, because that will help us to reach more people. And we have completed the target of 1000 subscriber, but I think like we can still go higher because of Olympiad is going to like be there, and I hope that we will reach even 10,000 subscribers very soon. So
Yeah,
it's going to happen only with your support.
definitely. Atul, I thought you were going to say cheerleader. Definitely is a cheerleader. Don't you think so, Atul?
Yeah,
Definitely is.
yeah.
Okay. So this
Cheerleader,
pawn,
whenever somebody says cheerleader, I think about cheerleaders in IPL.
and I like that song, cheerleader song. I like it. You should check it out later, Atul, if you have not. There's a
No,
song,
I know how
cheerleader.
much updated I am about cricket. I hardly, means I don't even remember when did I last time I watched cricket. Maybe with you and Neeraj only I watched it back in
Oh,
2019
yeah. When we played that
in
tournament.
Kerala. In Kerala only I watched some of the like balls, or you can say like some things for a few
Yeah, yeah,
overs, you
yeah.
can say.
It was during the IPL, right? We used to
Yeah,
watch
means
every
like
day.
that too. No, I was not seriously into it. Just because Neeraj and you were like, kind of excited about watching the cricket, I was there. But
I know you
seriously,
used
if
to
you
go. You
ask
used to
me,
go in between. You used to just leave and go.
yeah, I
I
seriously, if
remember.
you ask me when did I watch it, you can say when Sachin used to play. Sachin, Dravid, Saurav Ganguly, Sehwag, VVS Lakshman. These were like 4 or 5 players who used to play. I used to watch at that time. But once, ever since Sachin retired, my interest gone.
Understandable. Huh. Okay, so Prince is saying he's thinking of developing the bishop and long castles. Huh. Nice. Nice. But it's
Good.
black to move now. The idea is very nice. Prince has been
Mhm.
getting better, right, with every stream. Okay.
Yeah, Prince is
So
improving his chess for sure.
so here the pawn was not taken. So bishop b4 was played. I think now with an idea to just capture the pawn, because then the knight is pinned, and g5 now probably is not the best choice, right? So
Yeah.
here she went with bishop d2. Vaishali went with bishop d2. Huh, this is nice. I think she's saying if you capture and you go for my pawn, I go for your pawn, right?
Hmm.
Oh, then h7 falls. Okay, that is bad, I think. If h7 falls,
H7,
then it
I
is
doubt right now it will fall or not, because Rook
f6.
G8 is a very good idea. Rook G8, Rook
Huh,
H1,
but I
Knight
have
G5.
this. No.
Knight G5.
Oh, knight g5. I thought I had my bishop.
No,
Okay.
Knight G5, Rook H8 is there. Yeah.
Okay. Right, right. Rook h8.
Thank
Yeah, so
God.
this is.
Otherwise, it was falling.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, so anyway, so I think that was the point. So bishop d2, opponent played a5.
Now long castle or E5.
Probably bishop a6 is the idea to trade this bishop
Mhm.
with a5.
No,
So
but
no,
I'm saying
she
like from white side, what is the idea? E5
g5
or
first. First
G5?
g5, g5. I think to keep the pressure is a good idea, right? And I think g5 is good because you want to put pressure on h7.
Hmm.
So g5, knight d7, and long castles. So Prince, your idea has been played on the board. And bishop a6,
We
bishop
got 22
a6.
votes, by the way, and we don't even have 22 likes on the
I
stream.
know, that's weird. At least like the stream, guys.
Come on, like the stream. Whoever is voting, like the stream also.
Okay, and now the point is bishop a6. The rook, I think, is again misplaced to some extent. So Vaishali goes with rook h3. I think with a simple idea of going for the h7 pawn.
Mhm.
Uh, Materia goes with knight e5, rook hd1, knight c4. So you see, black is also improving their pieces,
Mhm.
but trying to win the bishop, exchange the bishop, of course not. Bishop e1 saves it, king e7, and Now, if you notice, this pawn can be captured.
Yeah.
But Vaishali says that pawn is mine. I rather improve my position first and then we will capture. So she goes b3, kick the knight away first. Knight e6, let's go e5, kick the knight away first, gain some space advantage. Knight b5 and now knight
Finally,
into
I think it
b5.
should be captured.
First, this is being captured, and now she says, okay, now I will capture. And please note, bishop into bishop was not played because then a2 would be weak. You don't want that to happen.
You don't want.
So now rook into h7.
But in this position, you have to capture on that, no? Because rook h7, bishop e1 is hanging.
Yeah, but I think
Why?
you can capture bishop b4
Yeah, that's what
after
I'm
the
saying. We
rook
need
trade.
to capture, yeah.
The point is, after the rook trade, you can capture, because when the two rooks on the board, I think would be dangerous, right? If you keep the two rooks and you capture. For
Correct.
example, how do I tell? I don't know. I mean, there
Yeah,
could
rook
be some
c8 is
play.
also coming, and the pawn on that
Yeah, so
c2
it
can
just,
be under attack.
so she said, okay, if you go to win the bishop, then I will trade the bishop. So she's keeping one rook on the board, but the opponent did not capture. Opponent went with rook g8 rather, and now I think she went with bishop b4 because probably the rook is not very well placed over here. And I think rook h8 is just a rook trade anyway if required. So king b2 supports the pawn, and now the opponent played rook ga8. But she gets rook a1 on time and supports. But this rook is doing a wonderful job here. So this is an endgame which is not very easy to, like the way she played from the queen trade to reach this position is not easy at all. Also, this g7 pawn seems to be hanging. I mean, you
King
give it
f8
up,
can be played, but in that
but then you
check
trade
and
rooks and then a3, and then white is winning. That endgame white is winning. So again rook g8, then I think white can just expand here or just play a3 and try to trade rooks. a3 is a very simple way to continue probably. Okay, so the opponent went with d4, I think, saying fine, capture my pawn, I'll try for some counterplay over here. Opponent went with rook c6, and now the pawn is pinned, so she goes with g6. And this, if you go to trade rooks over here, black just can't trade rooks, so that's the beauty over here. If you trade rooks, you're lost. So opponent is trying what the opponent can do, but rook f7, king e8, and now let the chat find Vaishali's move.
I got it. It was very complicated. Well, not complicated, but very tricky one.
Yeah. The point is, like, I mean, on the spot finding it, I think it's like the chat also will find it, but she's calculated this, right? Like to give up this, to give up that, a few moves prior, that I'm going to get this position. And then I'm going to find this move, I'm going to play this move. So that was nice. Okay. Prince, you are a cheerleader. We are waiting for your move at least.
And he is watching the stream from his office. He's saying, perk of being a HR intern. Yeah, HR वालों को कुछ काम नहीं होता है, ऐसे बोलते लोग.
People say that, but I don't know how it actually
Yeah,
works.
comparatively, I also had HR friends. No, they used to tell us the truth that comparatively they have
No,
very
but
less.
but I know one thing. I know people. So there is one compensation. I think that you may have more time in your hands, but when it comes to maintaining relationships in the office, right, you lose on that. Because as an HR team, you have to take, all the decisions about giving leave to people or, all these kind of things. And then the minute you're the HR, at least is what I've heard, people are not friendly with you anymore. So you get time on your hands, but your relationships go, a bit, it's very difficult to maintain.
Yeah, you need to
on
be
the
rude,
other
no?
hand, you have to be straightforward, rude, or whatever it is. Let's say you have to get your work done, right? You're basically managing. But a person who's not in the HR is just getting the work done. For them, maintaining relationships is easy. It's just their job. They're not really, their job is not people. In the HR, your job is people. So you're losing on that. So yeah.
True.
Hi Janvi, welcome. As well as Jaya Smith, welcome to the stream. Guys, if you're new here, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, and Keep
Atul,
yourself
he is
active in
saying
the
like
chat.
I barely have time to eat, and you're saying HR वालों को पास time. Arey, my roommate was there HR, okay, and he was working in Atos company, which is a very good company, and I know like how much he has worked, and it's okay. He used to work, but it was real. See, basically what I understood from his job and everything, the way he used to, he had a lot of responsibilities. Whatever
Yeah,
was happening in the company related to the
yeah,
people and all, he is the one who is going to take all the blame. Like if something is not done or something like
exactly,
that,
exactly.
means the higher authority people will ask him to make sure that the job is done or something like that is done. If somebody is having any issues, he needs to the one who needs to answer to the people. But compared to that, he had more time because he doesn't need to sit all the time in front of the computer and do the like
And
coding and all
do
those
the
work.
Excel sheet or
Yeah, yeah.
all
No,
feeding
Excel sheet, they
information.
need to do Excel sheet and all, but compared to the other engineers, it is less.
Huh, no, I'm saying anybody, even accountants and all, like they have to continuously sit and get their work done, right? But
Uh,
over here, as you said, responsibility is more. You're right, responsibility
yeah,
is more, and
responsibility is too. He
hmm,
had a lot of responsibility. He used to say this thing, and the thing is that sometimes he like there are two shifts where there people used to work in two shifts. So even if it's not his shift, he needs to take care of it.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
okay,
exactly. It's
what is
dealing with
happening in the
people,
other.
right? Dealing
Yeah.
with people is never an easy job, right? So that's the point. And he's an intern. Yes, Prince, we know interns never have free time. We know that. Any field you go, you'll never be given free time because you're an intern. So, people will keep giving you work. But he just told you in the future, you may have more time, is what Atul is saying.
दोस्त का काम नहीं दिखता. वो कंप्यूटर वाले काम इंटर्न से करवाते हैं. अरे यार.
Exactly.
But when you will be HR, you will be having a lot of responsibility because I remember he used to go for the interviews also. He needs to take the interviews and everything.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
he needs
No,
to select the right
another.
candidate. Right
See,
candidate he needs to select.
the point is, I know one person, a friend, who is working at the bank,
Hmm.
and she told me that when she was just doing the regular like officer job, right?
Hmm.
So there it was very easy for her. But when she got transferred to the HR department, now she had to give leaves to the bank employees or take
Yeah.
away. Sometimes you have to give them notices or whatever it may be, right?
Hmm.
Then it affected her relationships with her own friends. They were friends earlier.
Oh yeah,
Then it
obviously.
affected, right? So that's what. Then I was like, okay, responsibilities increase, and you probably it's more of a managing job than sitting and doing too much of a job. Of course, you have work, but not that much as she had earlier. But
When
yeah,
some third factor gets included in friendship or any relationship, no,
yeah,
then the friendship or relationship, whatever it is, it goes away. It is
exactly,
universal.
exactly.
It might be with the HR or any other relationship also. The third factor should not include whatever it might be. It can be money, it can be other girl, other boy, or any other incentive.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Okay, so Atul, we'll just finish with this. I don't think anyone has
Yes.
got the move.
Yeah.
So the move Rook
H1.
H1 was played over here
Putting checkmate in the
and
position.
checkmate idea. So
Yes.
yes, opponent captured Rook C2.
King
Vaishali
B1, and
played
there is
King
no
B1
more
and
good check.
resigned.
Yeah, because
Rook
Rook
H1.
C1 is the only check, but that will just lead
Yeah,
empty.
upper rook and that's game over. So yes, Prince got it,
Interesting
he
games
got it.
by Vaishali, and I hope that she will play more interesting games in the upcoming Olympiad. She is the part of our A team, means women's team, and she was also the part of last two Olympiads, if I'm not wrong.
Batumi, I think she played, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
And
like
even she also in the Online Olympiad, she was part of the gold medal winning
obviously,
team.
obviously that is true. Like that is there, but I'm just saying like in real means like over the board Olympiad also she was the part earlier.
Hmm.
So she is not completely newbie, you can say. She is kind of experienced person there. So she will only, I think Vantika is playing her first.
Yeah, Vantika is playing her first.
Yeah.
Also, Janvi is saying after seeing all these player recaps, somehow I get the impression ELO is just a number and anybody can play at any top level game, and it's and it is anybody's win on a given day. Actually, you're right, Janvi. According to me, anybody, obviously you can play at any level. It's like you can on any day. I can play at let's say grandmaster level. Atul can play at grandmaster level. We get points also, but the point is a rating is about how consistent you are. Is what I believe. On a particular day, let us say let's say I am playing at 2400 level, and on another day I'm playing at 1500 level. So then the consistency is not there, because of which my rating will be at, you know, an average medium. But it does not mean if you are, let us say, a 1500, it does not mean you cannot play 2200. You can. I'm just giving an example. So the point is about consistency. The more consistent you are, the higher your rating will be, is what I believe. What do you think, Atul?
Yeah, consistency is very important. Like whom you are asking, I am the one who perfect example for that thing. Like sometimes I play at the 2400, 2500 level throughout the tournament in
Exactly.
one tournament, and the next tournament I play very badly, like 1800 player, and I lose all the rating points which I have gained. So the consistency is the key to increase the rating consistently
Yeah.
and
And yes, but
to reach that
otherwise,
grandmaster level. Also, you can say
yeah,
playing one game, anybody can play one game at
exactly.
a very strong level, but if you can play all the games with that level, then you become like, okay, you can say like, okay, he's a grandmaster.
Exactly,
And one
exactly.
more another thing is that it's not just about one game, it's not just about one tournament. You have to play series of tournaments with that level, yeah, to become
Exactly.
even like for example, for me, I will say from my own example, I don't want to give anybody else example. Like my rating was 2118 in October 2008, okay, and now it is 2022. My rating is 2162. So I had many performances where I crossed the 2100 rating. I went dropped down, and then again I went up, and this and all. But it took me like many years, 14 years. Finally, I have crossed 2200 rating. So the thing is
That's what,
that
it's
it's
consistency, right,
very like
Atul?
I played consistently in last three tournaments, 30,
Yeah.
30, 30 points. I increased 30, 34, something like that, and I crossed like 2200 rating. But that consistency in each and every tournament over the long period of time is
Exactly.
not so easy. You have to be
Exactly.
very strong mentally also, because you will have off days in your like office, you can say. Same way in chess tournament also, you might play some bad moves on one particular day, and if you're unfortunately if you are playing against some low rated player, you will drop down 18 points in just one game.
Yeah, but I think Janvi was just saying like about a single game on a given day. That is true. Anybody can
Yes,
beat
yes, yes.
anybody in one game. That's why you see a lot of people, you know, even a lot of players, which I tell openly, you beat Magnus Carlsen in one game is no big deal. If
Yeah,
you play
like
a match
Praggnanandhaa has
against
won against
Magnus,
Magnus Carlsen.
yeah, if you play a match against Magnus, will you be able to win? Of course not. You know, that is the point about it. One game, you know, in chess, what happens? Chess is like life. You know, one mistake and you could be dead. You know, it's the way it is. So chess is not a sport like tennis or table tennis or cricket where you get extra chances. By chances, I mean, you know, one wicket after the other. You have more and more players coming up. We don't have that. One mistake, game over here. So one game is never going to decide anything on how strong you are. You need to be consistent. And beating a player
Consistent
once or
over the
twice
period of
is nothing.
long time you
Yeah,
need to do.
exactly.
That's why
Yeah.
Magnus is world number one since 2009.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
Because
you need to beat consistently. You need to have these performances. So that's the point.
and
And
Magnus was
a lot of
hmm,
players. Atul, the reason I'm mentioning is a lot of players. You know, they come to my stream when I'm streaming and they tell me I beat WFM so and so, WIM, or I beat IM so and so in an online blitz match. Okay, whatever. That's
yeah.
fine. You beat in one game. You may have lost 10 other games that they will not mention. They'll say I beat one game. The point is that one game is not anything. It does not mean anything. You played well in one game, that's really good, congratulations. You need to keep up the performance, right? So you need to practice more to keep up the performance, but otherwise I don't believe one game is, you know, a big thing. It's, you
Yeah, I
need to
mean,
be
like for
consistent.
some person, one game can also be a big deal, because they know that they cannot reach that level, but only on that day they manage to do that.
No. I'm not saying that way, Atul. I'm saying a big deal in actual chess terms, you know, like to show off it. Like, you know, to say that, you know, people actually use that. I beat an IM, I beat a GM. People do it. People have come and told me that, and I'm like,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, yeah. That's
I'm
what I'm
like,
saying.
okay.
For them, it's a lifetime achievement. No, they know that they are not going to have the title or something. Only on that day they are going to win against means they won. So it's for them lifetime achievement.
That is true. No
Because
one
it's
is
a dream
taking,
also. No?
no,
It's a
no one
dream.
is taking the happiness from them. Of course not. You be happy about it, Janvi. But I'm talking about, you cannot put yourself at that level, because I'm talking about those people who come and they tell me that they've won with an IM, so they are IM strength. It's not like that. I'm talking about those people. They're like, okay, I hope to become international master soon. I beat an IM. I mean, come on. One game is not deciding everything. So I'm just saying it that way. So you have to be more practical. Playing a few games with at a particular level, obviously that's there, but you need to be consistent if you want long-term goals. It's not just about chess. Anything you do in life, you need to be consistent. Without consistency, you can't get there. For a long-term goals, short-term, yeah, does not really matter.
It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Yeah.
In simple words.
Yes.
Okay,
Huh.
Nandini, I
Okay.
think we should take the
Yeah,
leave.
we will
Tomorrow we will
wrap
meet
up
with
today.
some new player. We'll reveal
Yeah.
it tomorrow only.
We reveal it on that very day so that we have you guys. And guys, if you've missed any of our previous streams, please go back. You can watch the streams if you wish to. Others, just hit the like button. That helps us a lot. You can also leave a comment on the streams, which we will be really, really happy about. The videos are already on the profile on our YouTube channel. Just go and leave a comment if you like the stream. That really helps us a lot. And yeah, see you tomorrow, guys. Then
Bye bye.
bye.
Take care.
Take care.